Are we live? Are we live? Are we live? Are we live? We're live! Okay, let's see if we have sound. Quick sound test. Okay, we have sound and we're live. Everything is good to go. Hello, everybody. My name is Gina, aka the Gina Chew, and welcome to another absolutely exciting stream of Asagao Academy Normal Boots Club. My wonderful bot in the chat will show you all the ways you can follow me on social media. You can follow me here on Twitch or on YouTube, or you can follow me on Twitter at the Gina Chew. And you can see when I will be streaming next, and you can also catch my previous streams on my YouTube channel as well. So today we are starting Continues. Well, I guess you could call it Paul's route, but really, Nick and Josh and Paul are like, they're a package deal, you know, so I'm gonna say Continues route. Okay, so for those of you who have not seen my streams before, or if you only watched my blind playthrough of PBGs and haven't seen any of my others, Ren'Py has this really awesome thing that you could do where you could skip all of the scenes that you've seen previously. So we're going to skip through the first part of the game. So if you haven't watched my previous blind playthrough of PBG's route, or if you haven't played the game yourself, I'm not going to go through the first part of the game because I've already been through it on my stream, and that would make each playthrough take like forever in a day. So we're just going to skip to the actual romance route stuff. So we're gonna watch everything zoom by super fast. It's always funny to watch that. I can't get enough of this game, you guys. Oh man, there's Jared. Okay, so this is asking if we know Jared or not. Let's see if we can get all 6 guys. I don't know if we can get all 6 guys as a choice. I have to figure out what to choose for Shane's, actually. I have a lot of research to do into Shane's because I heard his and stuff. So we're gonna tell a little white lie and say, yeah, I guess I know Jared. I mean, come on. Actually, I don't think you could get all of them together, because you have to choose between Jared or Paul when they're messing with the posters. So I don't think you can have all 6 available at once. This is Satch's book. Rule of thumb, general rule of thumb from what I've heard from people that play it is if you're not romancing Satch, leave the book behind. I don't know if it really makes a difference, but we're just going to leave it behind. I took it last time because we romanced Satch last time. And just so you know, I am a ghost streaming right now because that route killed me. Oh my god. You guys got to go watch my streams of that one because that was painful in the best way. Try talking to him or give him space. Let's try talking to him. Let's see what that does. Oh, I've actually never done this before. You know what? I'm not going to choose that then. Because I'm going to save that for his route. I'm definitely going to save that for his route. I thought I had chosen that at some point, but I'm going to save that for his route. I don't even know if that's the right thing to do for his route, to be totally honest. I don't know. I don't know. His is a tough one to crack, I've heard, but I've heard it's worth it. So we'll see. There's Jeff. This is PBG asking if we're gonna go see his soccer game. I'll say of course because I've already said that one before. We could skip through it. There's Gerard offering to give us a tour. I'll say sure. That should initiate his romance route. There's Caddy. You know what? I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not going to say anything for people who haven't done that route yet, but Caddy, that's all I have to say. There's us playing video games, remembering our dad. Oh, there's Josh Alina. I'm really curious to see if we see more Josh Alina in this route. Since we're obviously going to be trying to romance Paul. Okay, so this is the big choice that we have to make. Obviously, because we want to romance Paul, we're going to side with him and say the student government is obviously more important than Jared's fashion show.
Oh, I know that's right.
Paul! sorry. That I liked it. Okay. Actually, I apparently haven't seen this. Haven't chosen this before, which seems weird to me. But okay, so see, Jared, I told you the students want representation, and I will give it to them. You made the right choice, Hana. You're gonna vote for me, right? He gave me a huge grin, and I nodded. Part of me felt like if I didn't vote for him, a puppy somewhere would die. Oh dear God! Jared, on the other hand, looked irked. Guilt rammed my stomach. Hana, please come to the fashion show. I already gave you a ticket, right? Hopefully it'll change your mind. Okay. So then she's amazed that they even give a shit what she thinks, and I'm gonna skip. Okay, this is a random question we zone out, and we don't know what she asked, and I believe the correct answer is yes? Yes? I don't know what we're saying yes to, but okay. This is when Shane catches us looking at the boots. Satch is rude, that's all I have to say. There's us playing some video games with the guys. I say us because we're all really supposed to identify with Hana, right? There's giving back Gerard his itty bitty kitty. This is my getting kind of upset about us becoming such quick friends with normal boots guys, but they're your friends too. I will always say that they are her friends too. I love Mai so much. Sag, this is him wanting us to play a tree in his play. Why, John? Alright, this is us making up with Mai. Oh, there's Ian taunting us. Okay, this is her asking if we want to join the Number Boots Club, and the answer is I'd like to try. Even if I fail, I'm gonna work hard and give it my best. Yeah, Hana. You go, girl. Okay, there's them saying, okay, you're gonna be our puzzle person. If you... Okay, so yeah, it looks like we have to try and talk to Shane, I guess, in order to get him. And obviously, we're gonna be picking Paul, so this is where we get to choose who we're gonna ask to the flower festival. So we're gonna pick Paul. I'm really excited for this, for you guys. My prediction, and I will, for the record, I will state it here, is that the big obstacle to winning Paul's heart is going to be dealing with the dynamic between him and Nick and Josh, as far as the three of them come as like a package deal. So how does one of them fit a girlfriend into that? You know what I mean? I mean, obviously in real life they do. But I have a feeling that's kind of going to be the big kind of central hurdle to come over, is kind of their dynamic with each other, and how Hana's supposed to kind of like, acclimate herself to that. So we'll see, but we are going to pick Paul.
Paul.
I've decided to ask Paul. Mai burst into laughter. Paul? The one who constantly leads you into the most embarrassing situations of your life? Oh, if you think that's ridiculous, wait till I tell you I want to ask Shane. Well, it's not just him who does it. I knew you were a glutton for punishment. Well, go on! Go and get your man! Oh, wait, you mean now?
Yeah!
Yeah? Mai hit me on the back and practically shoved me towards the door. As I began to leave, my legs turning to jelly, small pink blobs filled my vision. What? Go! Mai was tossing cherry blossom petals over my head. Go get Senpai to notice you! Mai beamed at me. No time to talk, Hana. This is gonna be your big day. You're a main character. Unless you messed up real badly, you'll definitely get a good answer. We'll see. I've messed up a lot, though. Just go! Alright. So I think it'll be interesting to see how this story is gonna turn out. Let's go get us some Paul. Where would I find him? Where would Paul be? I wandered around Asagao for a full hour, absolutely clueless as to where I could find a single member of Continue. They were always off somewhere doing something. Always getting down to shenanigans or setting up some kind of plot. Thank you for using the word shenanigans, because, as you guys know, there is a club of people that are full of shenanigans in this game. We've got Caddy, we've got Waleed, the librarian, Mimi's pretty much like the fucking president of the Shenanigans Club. Yeah, I mean, those are just the people that have just been awful to us throughout all of these routes. Alrighty. Even when someone saw them in the library or the cafeteria, they were gone by the time I went to check. It seemed like a wild goose chase. Eventually, I crawled up to the 4th floor of Asagao, acting as if I were checking my locker for something. I rested my head on the cool metal surface. How was a girl to find them?
Hana!
Hey, Paul! Hey, Hana, are you... Ah! Paul stood behind me, visibly surprised. You alright? Yeah, no, I'm fine. What did you need? You're going to the flower festival, right? It's a good opportunity to get to know Higanbana. Small towns like this aren't really my thing, but it's a good bit of history behind it. Might help you feel more at home. I heard Higanbana was steeped in culture and traditions, but it seemed like Asagao Academy students were changing the dynamic of the town quite a bit. Even for the flower festival, it was custom to give someone a flower to ask them to go with you. Clearly nobody did that anymore. I twisted my hands. If Paul was bringing it up, was he asking me, or... I came to ask him, but he was bringing it up in a friendly fashion. Maybe he didn't see me that way. I think so. Maybe with Mai if she doesn't get a date. Oh, you aren't going with anyone? Me neither.
Really?
Really? Now. My throat tightened. So he was planning on asking me? Was this his way of letting me know I could ask if I was interested? Or was he making casual conversation?
Well...
Yep, I'm not too bummed about it though. I've been every year and it doesn't usually turn out well. For the girl, at least. I have a great time. Huh? Why's that? I don't actually know. Maybe it was the wrong person, or maybe I had something stuck in my teeth. Every year? I had no idea what he was trying to accomplish. Well, I came here to ask him to the festival. Might as well try. Actually, now that you brought it up, I thought it might be cool if I could go with you this year. I winced. There it was. I did it. Good job, Hana. Kids, it's okay if you're late, honey. Welcome to the party. We just asked Paul to the flower festival, so you're good, honey. Paul seemed visibly taken aback, even a bit confused.
Really?
Even after I told you about the last ones I went to?
Yeah.
Of course. You've been really nice to me since I got here. I managed to make friends with everyone primarily because of you. It would mean a lot to me to attend my first flower festival with you. In that case, of course I'll go. I didn't know you rated my stupid little acts of kindness so highly. And especially considering they were usually to make up for unintentional harm. I hope it goes better than the last few years did. Don't worry, I'm sure it will.
Alright.
Right, so we'll pick you up tomorrow night. Sounds fine to me. Wait, did he say we? Yep! What did I say? I called it! This is gonna be the roadblock to romancing Paul, is Nick and Josh. It's gonna... I looked at his eager eyes and bright smile. Nah, it was probably a slip of the tongue. Oh, Hana! No, it wasn't! These three are a package deal, which, I mean, look, let's be honest. If you wanted to go that route and date all three of them at the same time, fuck it, why not, man? Why not? Why is that not an option? See you then. Oh, God. It's good. Oh, this is going to be a funny disaster. Maybe the reason why it went bad with the girls every year is because you had Nick and Josh with you. Not that they're bad guys, but if you're going out with a girl, man, leave the boys at home. Jeez. I've got a date, oh my god, I love that one. Okay, so this is the letter from home. We've seen that before, here we go. Mai chuckled as she watched me nervously adjust my hair in front of the mirror. Oh my god, Mai's wearing a yukata! She looks so cute! Oh my god! Mai! Oh my god! We haven't seen this yet in any of the routes that I've played! Oh my god! Mai is gorgeous! Oh my god, why can we not romance her? This is just not fair at this point! Oh my goodness! Oh, I love it! I love it so much! Oh, she's so cute. Mai is goals, kids. I will tell you that. Continue their channel. Oh! Green... I'm just gonna call you Green Fedora. Green Fedora, thank you for the follow! Thank you so much and welcome to the party, my friend. I really appreciate the support. Thank you very much. But yeah, Continue's channel is pretty awesome, kids. Their dynamic, the three of them, is pretty incredible to watch, and their videos are super funny. They actually did, like, I think 2 videos with JonTron, and those are super hilarious because they just went and got drunk and played video games. It was great. But yeah, their channel's awesome. I think you'll like it. Hana, you look so cute. You have nothing to worry about. I guess so, but I've never been on a date before, so I don't even know if Paul considers it a date. Because he's bringing his bros with it. Actually, oh god. I have stories, y'all. This reminds me of a date that I was on once, but we won't go there. And you picked Paul as your first? She snorted, applying an extra dash of gloss to her lips. If Jared does not fall head over heels for her on sight, he is a dumb ass. Are you kidding me right now? This girl is queen. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, I hope that you continue to find me funny and that you know, continue to enjoy the stream. Thank you so much, Green Fedora. It's really sweet of you. Everybody that's been coming and hanging out with me has been so nice. You guys are so good to me. Okay, let's jump back in. He's nice and reliable. Even if things get really crazy when he's around, I feel like I can always count on him to make things better. Well, he is entertaining at least. Well, he's no Jared, but I wish you luck. Well, he's not Jared, you know. If you've fallen for our president, there's no way I'm gonna hold you back. Fallen? She winked at me. No? Then you're going with him platonically?
Bingo.
Well, if she goes to the festival with Chad, I hope that she goes to Chad or PBG. I actually really thought it was cute that she winds up hooking up with PBG at the end of Jared's route, because that is super cute and she deserves a really good guy like PBG. I thought so. She hummed happily to herself, but a horrible thought occurred to me. Something I hadn't considered until just now. Did Paul know I intended it to be a date? Probably not. I twisted my yukata in my hands, then glanced out our window. The lights of the festival glistened in the distance, and small groups of people traveled the grounds towards it. Of course he knew it was a date. Paul wasn't stupid. I'm sure he was a boy, but he must have picked up on it. Oh, this is gonna be a beautiful disaster, and I can't wait. Oh, I think I see him coming. I flew to the mirror to double-check myself just once, still decent enough, and dashed to the door. You'd better tell me everything when you get back. I will, promise. And with that, I was out the door. I shuffled nervously down the hallway. It was difficult to walk in my yukata. The fabric restricted the movement of my legs, and my sandals tried to jump off my feet at every turn. I made it to the first floor and pushed open the door nervously.
Whoa!
Hana! Guys! What did I tell you? Hana, you look amazing, really good. I'm telling you, if we wind up dating all 3 of them at once, I will not have a problem with that. I have a feeling it's not how it's actually gonna go, though. Josh shot a glare at Nick, but Nick didn't seem to notice. Thanks. Fancy meeting you here? Paul chuckled. It'll be nice to go as a group for once. These 2 were more than up for spending the festival with you. I don't know what he's talking about. Josh kicked the ground and Nick rubbed his neck sheepishly. I swallowed. Yeah, this'll be fun. I was looking forward to it all day. My throat tightened. Smile, Hana, smile. This was fine too. Paul looks really good though, I have to say. So he didn't realize it was a date. Who cared? I was still spending the festival with him and with Josh and Nick besides. Yeah, this'll be fun. So where are we going? I want to take you to the game booth. There's this stall that sells great cakes. Well, there's this bonfire every year. The 3 stopped and stared at each other. Oh, you know what? I think this gonna be good. Oh gosh. Yeah, you know what, kids? I feel like this route is gonna be like more like JonTron's route than like PBG's or Jared's or Satch's, and the fact that it's gonna be like mostly comedy, which I'm totally down for. I mean, these guys are all precious, adorable cinnamon rolls, so I'm down for it. So why not just do everything? I bit my lip. Mai told me at the very end of the festival, everyone gathered around the bonfire and celebrated with traditional flower blooming dance, something that was specific to Higanbana. It sounded fascinating and romantic, and that was what I wanted to do most of all. But I looked from Nick to Paul to Josh, and my heart sunk. There was no way it was going to be possible, not with all of them. No, for the good of the festival, it was my sworn duty to tucker them out before the dance came to pass. I set my chin, staring straight at them. Bring it on! 3 separate hands grabbed my wrist, and like that, I was dragged across the campus and into the neighboring fields of Higanbana. You know, I was joking about it wind up being like you're dating the 3 of them, but we're literally on a date with the 3 of them. And I am more than okay with it. Higanbana was really nice, quaint little town. Primarily the home of the families who owned farms responsible for Asagao's fresh food supply and a healthy population of retirees, there was no need to stir up trouble or have gangs roam the streets. If anything, judging from the way the townspeople passed from group to group, the most deadly thing they ever did was gossip and eat fried cheesecake. I'm not a fan of cheesecake myself. I'm not a fan of cheese. You know, if anything that I say in any of these in any of these streams is going to lose me followers, it's going to be me admitting that I'm not fond of cheese. People get violent about it, you guys. Oh, this is the only route you haven't seen, Green Fedora? That's cool. I did PBG's Blind. That was the first one I did, and then I did JonTron's and Jared's, and then I just did Satch's, and I'm doing Paul's. And then next I'll probably do Gerard's, and then I'll do Shane's. So yeah, this is like the 5th one I've done. I'm kind of sad because we're running out of guys and I just want this game to go on forever. See, they bake the flowers into the cakes and it's totally edible and safe and just the neatest thing if you ask me. Nick giggled, shooting a look at Paul. He's excited about flower cakes. Isn't it cute?
Yeah.
Maybe it's the Joshua-Lena coming out in him. I swear to God, I hope we get to see more Joshua-Lena. That'd be great. Is it so hard to believe I can find cakes worth eating? There has to be some kind of good in the world, and I'm almost entirely certain these flower cakes are it. Oh yeah, sure, definitely. I believe you. Josh has found the light. Josh huffed, crossing his arms. You guys are the real reason I'm like this. I giggled. But your grumpiness is exactly what everyone loves about you. That's why they tease you so much. Yeah, well, I mean, I guess so. That isn't that bad, is it? There are worse things. He paused at the entrance to his sacred cake stall, then turned to me. What do you want? Pick anything off the menu. I'll get it for you. Really? Really? Gerard and Shane were your faves? Yeah. Right, Satch has been my favorite so far, but I have a feeling that Gerard and Shane are going to be up there. I think the two of them and Satch are going to wind up being my favorites. You just choked on your roll. Kids, please don't die, honey. You're usually way more stingy than this, Josh. In fact, you still owe me for that coffee 3 weeks ago. Only you would hold that against me. Can I try the green tea sakura cake? Josh pursed his lips and ordered from the old lady at the stall. She smiled kindly at me and my heart squeezed. She reminded me a little of my mom. She held out the cake with a trembling hand and Josh gently took it. When he paid her, she looked up at him in surprise. He put a finger to his lips and shook his head. Then he handed my cake to me. Josh, did you just... Nope, I didn't. I did nothing. But as we left the stall, the old woman waved joyously at us. The whole time she hadn't said a word. I bit into the crumbling cake in my palm. Whoa! he thinks she's cute. Please don't die. The cake melted into my mouth, leaving behind a soft perfume and a robust herbal taste. It had a very earthy, very natural feel, but in a way that was sweet and delicious as opposed to disgustingly healthy. Once a year. You can only get these once a year. It's a tradition for me. Are you done? I want to go play the games. Josh frowned but said nothing. This time Nick took the place at my side, skipping happily down the lanes. How any of the boys knew where to go to find what they wanted was beyond me. Every stall looked the same, and the savory smells floating through the air didn't help my distracted mind. Here we are. Nick rounded a corner, and I balked. Crane games?
Right?
Right? They're the best! Nick clapped with glee and pulled out his wallet. I marveled at the fact that the tiny village of Higanbana somehow managed to gather together enough power strips for an entire block of crane games on the outskirts of town. He approached a large pink number and pulled out several coins. Okay, Hana, I'm gonna need your absolute help. This one's timer goes a little fast, so you need to stand on the side of the machine and tell me how far back to push the crane to get that little puppy there. He pointed at a brown, confused-looking puppy. Can't you see it yourself? Ah, but the glass is warped, so you can't accurately tell your positioning. It's the oldest trick in the book. I nodded, secretly wondering whether Nick had a gambling habit, and squeezed between the pink machine and another, much hotter red one. Go! Nick pushed the crane forward and to the left, face almost pressed to the glass. Where am I? Go to the right a bit more? Here? Further! Here? Wait, go back a bit! We're almost out of... The crane descended, grabbing at the lonely puppy's torso. It got it! No, watch. The crane lifted up, and the weight of the puppy's giant head pulled him out of the claw. The claw floated back to the hole, dropping nothing as our prize. Crane games. Well, if you two are done with this riveting performance... Again! Hana's like, I will not be bested by this machine.
Yeah.
That's the spirit, Hana. In the end, it took Nick $7 to pull that little puppy out of the crane. When it finally dropped into the hole, adrenaline shot through my body and I screamed like a banshee, pulling Nick into a giant hug. It's just a stupid puppy.
Hana.
Oh my god, Nick! No! 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 That voice clip was unfair. It was really cute. Oh, Hana! Hana, I won it for you! Oh, what? No, I couldn't. I couldn't have won it without you. Just take it. He shoved it into my hands, then took several steps away, taking a sudden but intense interest in a tiny flower on the side of the road.
All right.
It seems like they all kind of have a crush on her collectively. And I don't know if they're going to be fighting over her, or... I don't know. I'm intrigued, though. Right, to the bonfire, then? Yes, we saw this bonfire in Satch's. I love this background. It's absolutely gorgeous. The bonfire was huge, much bigger than I ever expected. Also, yes, kids, he is definitely like a brown, confused puppy. Absolutely. Apparently, the whole town gathered together in the weeks before the festival, selecting trees that had already died or were in perilous, potentially harmful positions, and cut them down to form this immense fire. I stepped up to it, warming my hands. Now that we were no longer near the stalls, the bonfire and stalls were a moderate distance away from each other so as not to potentially kill people, the night chill enclosed us. It was nice to have the fire like a force field, beating the chill back. I see you also enjoy bonfires. Yeah. Of course! Who doesn't enjoy seeing the awesome, malicious power of fire? I hate the smell of smoke. Wow, Josh! Shut up, Josh! I wasn't sure what we were supposed to do by the fire, but it seemed Paul hadn't wanted to do anything. Instead, we stood in a circle talking about the school, the local legend, anything that popped into our heads. At some point, Josh and Nick found sticks on the ground and started sword fighting, making laser noises with their mouths. Paul and I watched from afar. Not going to join them? Not this time. Their duels are a long-running grudge. There's no way I'm getting involved in that. The battle grew more and more heated. Nick broke Josh's stick and Josh found a much larger, sturdier one, almost like a mini log. No longer able to defend himself, Nick acrobatically dodged the stick with a series of complicated flips and twists that seemed like it should have made it easier for Josh to hit him than harder, but okay, whatever worked. It wasn't until Nick skirted the dirt off the ground and into Josh's eyes that I felt the need to step in. Ow! What the fuck, Nick? Okay, guys, let's calm down here. Josh hurled his mini-log blindly towards the sound of my voice and I shrieked. Paul grabbed me and yanked me out of the way so that instead of hitting me... Oh, jeez, okay. It hit the edge of the bonfire and was set alight. Oh my god, I'm going blind! Why did... The flames trailed down to the log and onto the ground where the dry grass started to pick it up. Oh my god! Are you gonna light, like, all of Higanbana on fire? This is... You know what? This is just the way Continue works. This is... We're in for a whole romance route of this, you guys. And I'm kind of okay with it. Paul! Fire! Oh my god, fire! It's a bonfire. Mr. Saitomo, the 4th-year teacher, showed up out of nowhere with a leather jacket and started beating the flames with it. At some point, Miss Shizuka ran up and kicked the log aside so that it wasn't tracking more flames from the bonfire. Between Mr. Saitomo's jacket flailing and Miss Shizuka's stomping, the fire was quickly put out. I waved the smoke away from my face, coughing up a storm. Hana? Boys? Paul held up his hands in surrender. Understood. We're leaving. Nick pulled Josh up by his arm, apologizing softly for getting carried away, and together the 4 of us headed back to campus. Nobody seemed particularly bothered by nearly burning down an entire festival and possibly killing hundreds of people. Oh, Continue. Instead, we stood around in a circle, joking quietly with each other about stupid things. Time passed and my yawns became more and more frequent. Seeing this, Paul clapped his hands together. I think it's about time we head back, don't you guys? Wrapped up in argument about love triangles and modern romances. Okay. We're going there. Let's go there. I didn't think Nick and Josh even heard him, but the lower half of their bodies turned and walked them to Bluebell House, their eyes never leaving each other's faces. And they've got that connection, the 3 of them. I expected Paul to follow, but instead he dawdled at my side, staring up at the stars. Aren't you gonna head back with them? Well, while we were going through the festival, it occurred to me that maybe, perhaps, you hadn't wanted me to bring them with me. Oh! Paul, did you have that thought? I laughed half-heartedly and Paul snapped. Pauled it again, didn't I? No! I mean, I had fun anyways. Even if this wasn't the first date I thought it'd be. Yeah, I had a good time anyway. I felt stupid for getting so worked up, for getting so worked up. But as flower festivals went, this was certainly one of the better ones I'd had. I mean, it was the only one, but... Drums started beating in the distance. The bonfire flickered more than usual, and when I looked, I saw people gathering around it, and the beginnings of the traditional dance and swing. I watched them enviously. There was no way I was going back there now, not after nearly burning down the festival, but that didn't stop me from wanting to join in. Suddenly, a hand wrapped around my waist, another lifting my arm. Paul! No! No! Oh, it's so cute! I can't handle it! No! Oh my god! You guys can't see my face, but oh god! What, Paul? Oh my god! Paul is so cute! Paul? Paul chuckled softly, swaying to the beat of the song. It seemed like this was something you wanted to do. Was I right? I nodded, blushing horribly. His hand was warm in mine, and it was incredibly hard not to think about how physically close we were to each other. Not just our faces, but our whole bodies. Go for it, Hana. I'd never been so close to a man before. Gingerly, I lifted a hand to his shoulder. He smiled when I touched him, gazing deeply into my eyes. Super cute. I looked away. What were people supposed to do when they were dancing with an attractive person? Just stare at them? It was way too close for comfort. So Nick and Josh are nice. I winced. I thought the first thing that popped into my mind, desperate for something to allay this unintention, but if anything, it made it worse. Paul chuckled again. Yeah, we've been together for years at this point. They're almost like brothers to me. Really? We met in film club back in elementary school. Your elementary school had a film club? I just don't want this scene to end because this CG is like stupidly cute and I love it so much. Yes? He answered the question with such a genuine confusion that I instantly shut up. Different worlds. We lived in different worlds. Well, first Nick and Josh were friends. I knew them, but we didn't hang out much. In middle school, Nick and I ended up working on a project together, and the three of us and my friend Don, we were inseparable. Oh, they mentioned Don! Good. Don? Yeah, he... Well, we were really close. We made this plan that all four of us would attend Asagao together, and he got in, but... Long story short, his parents refused to send him. Thought we were bad influences, I guess. Paul shrugged, my hand raising with his shoulders. But then we all decided to stick together. We wanted to do some film stuff here, but Asagao really lacks support for clubs. This was one of the reasons I wanted to become class president. Ah, I see! I see. So there's several reasons why he wants to be class president. Oh, kids, don't even get me started on the copyright claims on YouTube. Don't even get me started. Right now, they can change the rules for clubs without a backwards glance. And clubs have to provide their own funding. Apparently, because our parents are rich, Asagao doesn't have to support our extracurricular needs. Paul rolled his eyes. In the meantime, we started Continue in the newspaper and used it for everything, really. Or we did, right up until the election last year. Now it's more functional than fun, but I guess that's just how things go. So, you guys really want to work with film?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's our big passion. Or, I guess we have a lot of passions, but that's the big one. That's one of the reasons why the student council presidency is important to me. Paul jerked his head to the side. I followed his gaze, but he was staring out into the darkness. Paul? The drum stopped. The song's over. I realized that the darkness he was looking at was where the bonfire once stood. They put it out. The festival was over. Paul and I stepped away from each other, and suddenly the cold night air surrounded me. I shivered.
Hey.
You should get inside. Don't want to catch a cold. I nodded. Thank you for this. I don't think you Paul'd it this year. That's adorable. Paul laughed. Really? Well, then I'm glad. 1 out of 4 ain't so bad, is it? I shook my head, smiling, and he shooed me inside. Oh, am actually dead. That was adorable. Alright, so maybe the Flower Festival wasn't exactly what I thought it would be. Maybe it wasn't my first date, but I had my first dance with a guy, and I had a wonderful time. As I put Nick's plush puppy on my desk, I smiled. I could settle for that. I love that they have all 3 of them in the background. I love it so... I love everything right now. I love everything right now. Okay, let's see. What do we got here? Competition spotted. 10 tournament points we got already. Wow. Okay. Dear Diary, the thing is, I know Paul doesn't feel that way about me, but part of me still wants to hold out hope. He touched me differently, or he wouldn't have danced with me otherwise. But I should know better. I don't know. He was staring deeply into your eyes, Hana, and obviously Nick and Josh think you're cute, so... I mean, just saying. Hana's got it going on. She needs a little bit more confidence. Her and Mai are like queens. Mai and I were heading up to our classroom early the next morning when I saw Paul stopped in the hallway staring at the wall. At the sight of him, my heart fluttered. Falling in love by seeing her twerking on the bathroom door, but okay. Hana? Oh, non sequiturs. Mai followed my gaze. Oh, I see how this is. Well, don't mind me. I'll be waiting for you in class. She gave me a wink and nudged towards Paul. Mai, I told you it wasn't like that. It was a group date. Kind of. Except that bit at the end. See you later. She disappeared through the staircase door, and I was left staring at the back of Paul's neck. Hey, Paul. Paul jumped and turned around.
Hey.
Hey, Hana. He sighed and turned back to the wall. Are you okay? You don't seem very happy. Look. I looked over his shoulder at what was on the wall. I A neon blue poster proudly proclaimed Space Hamster for President. Oh yeah, that's right. In one of the other routes, somebody mentioned that Jeff was also running for president. But Jeff is an actual cinnamon roll though, you guys. I can't... Oh! No! They're both so fantastic. How are you supposed to choose? Small captions underneath in a red garish highlighter yellow. Together we'll rocket into space.
What?
What? Jeff's running for president. Things aren't looking good. Jeff is president? What would ever possess him to think that was a good idea? Not that Jeff wasn't a great guy. I mean, in all of my time knowing him, I had no reason to suggest he wasn't. Jeff is like a real-life cinnamon roll, though. Like, he seems like the sweetest guy ever. It was just that, well, a position of personal responsibility over a large segment of the student population, several of which were complete idiots, and the myriad valid perspectives and differing opinions he had to entertain while making decisions. It just didn't make any sense. You'll be able to beat him easily, right? I mean, you're outgoing, you're charismatic, you're funny. You've got all the qualities of a good leader, and I feel like you're a natural politician. Paul chuckled. Thanks for saying that, but I don't think I can take this lightly. Now, I certainly wouldn't take Jeff as a joke in this situation. Jeff is a formidable opponent. He might not look it, but he's got a calming presence. When a group of people are confused, they look to him for guidance. He strongly appeals to the youth of this generation. This generation? You're talking like you're way older than us. Anyway, I'll definitely have to step up my game if I want to win. Just putting up posters won't be enough. It looks like this is going to be a long battle. A battle for the hearts and minds of the people! How cool! I beamed at him and he cocked an eyebrow. Are you teasing me? What? Me? No! No, I'm just, okay, I'm teasing you a little bit, but I also think that's really cool. Katrina! Oh, thank you for the host! Oh, that's so sweet of you. Thank you so much for the support. You're so sweet. God, I got so lucky with all these wonderful people joining me on my streams. Thank you so much, Katrina. I'd never be able to run for president. Ah, stop! I'm always the person in the background doing weird things like organizing schedules and filing papers. I'd never be able to stand in front of a crowd to try to get them to trust me. That takes some gusto.
Seriously?
Knowing you, this will be a competition to look forward to. Ha! He chuckled and rustled my hair. Hey! I patted it back down, glaring at him. Thanks, Hana. You cheered me up. You should head to class, though. Can't have you missing class on my account. Okay. Try not to get too... Try not to worry too much about it. I will. I waved to him as I left, but just before I reached the stairwell, I glanced back at him. He was still staring at the poster, rubbing his neck as though he had a headache. I hope he wasn't going to stress out about it too much. Oh, yeah, so there's my two best friends kind of like this girl that I like, and Jeff is running for president, and I have no idea what to do, and I'm pulling everything up. Oh, jeez. I think the idea of what this is all going to be about is coming together. As soon as I took my seat, a familiar shock of red hair and green eyes obstructed from my view. Hana! So tell me, how did it go? I told you there was nothing romantic. He was worried about Jeff running for president, so... At the sound of Jeff's name, Ian glanced at us from across the room. I instantly shut up. Jeff's running for president? Why on earth would he do that? Ian's like, excuse me? Like, that's my boy you're talking about there? Let's not talk about this now. The important thing is you're overthinking things. I think you're kind of underthinking them, Hana. My side then immediately perked back up. Fine, if you say so. I still think there are some feelings. Think what you want. You're delusional. We returned to our seats and I got my stuff ready for class, thinking all the while. Delusional. Yes, I was being delusional. Delusional. He definitely does like you, though. How can you not see that? Jesus, Hana. Okay. Occurred event, a knock on heaven's door. Okay. Dear Diary, Jeff running for president? I mean, not that he would make a bad president. He would. He's a deep thinker and tries to consider all angles of a problem, but I can't help but wonder why exactly he wants to do it. What is so important to him that he wants to run? And again, I don't know why Paul's running either. Well, Paul kind of already told you why he's running. I don't know. I don't know. He could just be doing it to mess with Paul. Although I really don't think that Jeff would do that because he is a cinnamon roll. I lay awake in bed that night, for some reason unable to fall asleep. It was one of those times where no matter what I did, something was wrong. It was too hot, it was too cold, my pajamas too restrictive. I trailed the rungs of Mai's bed above me with my toes, waiting for the sleep fairy to magically whisk me away to her land of slumber. And there came a knock at our door. It was a soft, secretive one, and I sat up quickly, unsure of whether I heard it. No, there it was again. Is it Josh Molina? I stood and quietly padded over to the door, doing my very best not to wake Mai. I pulled open the door here, peeking out to see who it was. An excited Paul stood in the doorway, drumming his hands on his pants like a kid about to go on a roller coaster. I opened the door fully. Paul, what are you doing here? You're going to be in so much trouble if people find out about this. Hana. Paul grabbed my hands and held them to his chest, eyes glittering. I know how I'm going to beat Jeff, and you're going to help me. What? He released my hands and began pacing the narrow space in front of my doorway. I pulled the door closed so as not to wake Mai. It seemed like this could take a while. Nick, Josh, and I are all fantastic people. This is something that simply cannot be argued. I'd agree with that assessment.
Oh, I know that.
I love that sound bit. Oh, I know that's right. Thank you, Paul, for these voice bits. They're fantastic. We're charismatic, charming, destructive. We've got a nice triple hit combo with my guidance, Nick's positive humor, and Josh's dour but hilarious perspective. We're everything people want in friends, but we're not what people want in a leader. Not yet. We need a strategist, a social center, a female perspective. Where could we find these things? How many people could be trusted enough to handle our delicate humor? Who wouldn't turn on us at the first time we wreaked havoc upon their lives? He whirled to face me, an outstretched finger at my throat. That's where you come in. Paul, I don't know. You're kind, you're contemplative, you're intelligent, you understand the female perspective, and you bring a new view of life at Asagao that we couldn't share. That, and you're mysterious. A transfer student suddenly appearing at school, a girl with pink hair and access to the school's most popular and influential men. Paul, really? I don't know how you did it, but you've got everyone's eyes on you. It's that main character thing we got going on, you guys. My shoulders hunched and I tried to ease them away from my ears. I didn't know about that. Moreover, I didn't want that. I don't want people's eyes on me. Paul, I think you're misunderstanding. I'm not any of those things. I would love to help out with your campaign, but I can't be part of the team. I'd be in the spotlight. I'd be responsible. I'm still new here. It's too much pressure, too much stress. What if I messed up and I really hurt somebody? What if I made life worse for people or wasted their time? It's too much for me to handle. I can't. Paul grinned.
I know, right?
That's exactly why we need you, Hana. Don't you see? We need you to level us out. We are all together too quick to make decisions, too sure of ourselves. I envisioned a flawless, unopposed victory. Even when Jeff first told me he was running, I didn't expect him to gain a following. But today, as I was looking at his posters, I realized two things. First, he's serious about running. And second, the student body really feels like he can make a difference. More of a difference than I did this past year. He cast his eyes to the floor for an instant, momentarily sad. I wanted to ask why, but he was already back at it. So, will you join me? With you, I really think we can do it. Oh gosh! Which one of these many choices shall we choose? I have to think about it. I have no idea how I feel about it right now. Paul's face fell for a second, then instantly brightened again.
Right.
Yes! That's exactly what I'm talking about! This is the caution and foresight we as a team require. Paul, keep your voice down, you'll cause a scandal. He cleared his throat, glancing nervously up and down the hall. Right. Anyway, I'm looking forward to hearing your answer. Did you want to know anything else before I left? Actually, there was a lot to consider here. If I joined, what would I be doing? Trailing after them and cleaning up their messes? Making flyers and the like? Cheering them on? Providing consultations? And there was something else I wanted to know. Something that I wasn't sure I had the courage to ask. Was it just for the campaign that he wanted my help? Or was there something more behind it? We'd be able to spend a lot of time together after all. Do we want to ask the more personal question, or do we want to ask the more straightforward, what would my duties be question? Oh gosh, you guys, what should we do? What should we do? I mean, he kind of already described why he picked her specifically. He feels like she has the perspective and the cool head that they need. But that's probably the way to the romance, so I'm gonna say, why did you pick me specifically? But let's see what the correct... Yeah, no, that is the wrong answer, and so I would be done with this already, but that's okay. Anyway, so, according to my handy-dandy list of what we should be doing, the answer is, what would my duties be? Good question, as expected of our Hana. I'm not your Hana. Yet. He grinned, and even though I knew he meant it platonically, my heart skipped a beat. Oh, we'll get there if I have anything to say about it. Anyway, you'd help us organize fundraisers and ways of reaching the student body, as well as help us decide our campaign strategy and counter any moves put forth by our opponent. Most of all, you'd have to keep us rational, make sure we don't let our emotions get the best of us if something happens. Can you do that? Well, I'll give it some thought. Paul nodded and clapped me on the back. I shivered. Thanks, Hana. I look forward to hearing what you have to say. Soon. Leave already. More than just your campaign will be in trouble if you get caught here.
Alright, see ya.
Right. Be seeing you, Hana, and sweet dreams. I nodded as I watched him stealthily jog down the hall and out of sight. I sighed. No doubt working on the campaign would be fun, and I would get to spend a lot of time with Paul. But was I really okay with torturing myself by hanging around a guy who clearly wasn't interested? And could I face my fear of being in the public's eye? He is interested in you, Hana. How are you so dense? I crawled into bed, finally tired enough to sleep. One thing was for sure. I needed Mai's opinion. I think we could probably have time to go for a little bit more. Could Hana help? And we have 15 tournament points now. Dear Diary, he wants me to help with the campaign? Why? I mean, I know he gave me reasons, but I still don't know. I get the feeling he expects more of me than I can give or that I'm willing to give. Paul sees the best in everybody and expects the best of them too, which is wonderful, until people can't deliver. It sounds perfect to me, Hana. Mai and I sat at our desks before class the next day. I quietly told her about Paul's midnight visit, and Mai, at first ecstatic about the potential for scandalous romance, quickly sobered. Did you two make out in the hall? Jesus Christ, Mai. You were looking for a way to make more friends, right? Maybe this is the thing to do. I guess so. Mai popped a piece of gum into her mouth, the school newspaper open on her desk. It's just that I don't know if I'm strong enough to be able to handle that. It's clear that he's not interested in me, and I want to spend more time with him.
Bingo. Maybe
you'll get over him by spending time with him. Sometimes that happens, you know? They seem great until you spend all your time with them. You think? Well, let's just say I see this as more likely in his case. I jumped my fingers on the desk. Maybe I can at least learn to see him as a friend while on the council. Probably. It's just a crush after all. I'll get over it when I find someone else I'm interested in. I smiled at Mai, but she didn't even notice. Mai, are you even listening to me? Hana, you should read. Oh, I knew it. As soon as I didn't say it out loud and I should have, but as soon as she was messing with the newspaper, I'm like, he announced it in the paper already, didn't he? Uh-oh. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Savvy Sav, hello. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. She tossed me the newspaper. The continued news column blared off the page with the headline, Secret Weapon? My hands started to sweat as I read the words. Oh no! Paul, what did you do? Our current class president and 1/3 of the writing team for Continue column, Paul Ritchie, has revealed that he has a secret weapon in store for this year's student council elections. No, Paul! Why? Oh, god damn it. The fight is tough this time around, Richie was quoted as saying, so I looked closely at our weaknesses and decided to enlist a bit of outside help. Students have professed worry over the balance of our team in more ways than one, and I'm happy to announce that this should ease their minds. Richie declined further questions, saying only, you'll meet her when the time comes. I put the newspaper down, watching Mai. No wonder everybody was reading it this morning. I bet half of them think he's got a girlfriend. No. I put my head in my hands. Mai patted me on the back, nodding sadly. Excuse me, hold on 1 second, guys. Okay, I'm back. There's no way I can refuse now, not when he's already done this, and not unless he has someone else in mind. That's probably why he did it. How could he do something like this that's so manipulative? Well, that's the kind of thing that he kind of wants you to stop. Oh, I'm glad you can make it too, Savvy. Thank you so much for joining me. Oh, I love you guys so much. I love when you guys come to hang out with me. It's the best. Mai's hands flew off my back and her eyes darted towards the door. Maybe you should tell him that yourself. Paul entered our classroom, glancing around it quickly. When he saw me, he grinned and darted over. There you are, my dear. Oh boy, he was not helping the situation. Paul, how could you put this in the paper? I never told you yes. Right, yeah, about that. I kind of told Nick and Josh to get started on the article right before I went to talk to you. And see, the newspaper gets sent to the printer at midnight, and once it's sent, we can't make changes without paying for it out of pocket. So by the time I got back, it was already in the paper? He giggled uncertainly, and I resisted the urge to smack his arm. What are you gonna do if I say no? You're going to say no? Paul, why? Why, Paul? A ripple of whisper shot through the classroom. I glanced around and suddenly everyone noticed everyone's eyes on me and Paul. Of course, I should have known. I lowered my voice to a whisper, trying to look casual and uninvolved as possible. Having a senior visit the classroom in the morning specifically to see me? Heck, even most couples chose to meet outside so as not to draw attention. This was practically a declaration of intent to date, even if I knew Paul didn't see it that way. Unless he does! God damn it, Hana. Was he really so thoughtless, or did he just not see me in that way so it never occurred to him that others might feel we could be a couple? Either option depressed me. Look, we're making a scene. We should meet up after school to talk about it.
Alright.
Great idea, Hana. If I can't convince you then, you're free to say no. But where should we meet? He stroked his chin thoughtfully, then snapped his fingers.
Yeah.
I got it! I owe you an ice cream cone to make up for the one that I, has ruined. So how about that? As our conversation grew quieter, the students grew crowded closer. Mimi was almost right behind Paul, with eyes like a devil. Mimi! Stay in your lane, bitch! Get the fuck out of here! I cannot stand this girl! Oh my god! An ice cream date? Deal! So I'll meet you there after class. Speaking of, you should really get going with the bell, ringing any minute. Hey, you're right! He tousled my hair affectionately and I instinctively shoved his arm away from me. See you then, Hana! He left the room and I collapsed onto my chair. Gradually, the stillness in the class returned to its regular pre-lesson commotion, though dark looks still shot at me like curses. Mai whistled. Way to go, Hana. You're killing it. I know you said you didn't want to be in the spotlight, but it looks like you'll be there whether you want it or not. I sighed and threw my head down on my desk. Today was just not my day. After class, I said goodbye to Mai and made my way to the cafeteria, feet dragging like blocks of ice. For some reason, the slow trek felt like a death march. Part of me was saying goodbye to something. I watched the wind in the trees and smiled at the stressed faces of passing students. Yes, goodbye. It was goodbye to life as I knew it. Thanks to Paul, everything was going to change. I'm wondering if I should stop here and take a little break and maybe go for another hour? What do you guys think? Would you be cool with that? I would just have to I would just take like a quick 5-minute break maybe at the most. I have to reset some stuff on my computer anyway. But if you guys want to stick around for a couple of minutes, I'll just take a quick break and then I'll pick the stream back up if you guys are cool with that. I think that sounds like a plan. I would really love to finish his route anyway before next week, because as I've said previously, this weekend I won't be streaming, and I know it sounds weird, I can't tell you why, but yeah, so alright, I'm gonna pause here. Spike, thank you so much for the host, my friend. Okay, yeah. Spike is probably going to have to, re-host me, but yeah, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to cut the stream off for just a couple of minutes, but stick around, you guys. I promise I will be right back. Thank you guys so much, if you're watching on YouTube, for joining me. Check out the next episode, because I'll probably split this into 2 episodes, but thank you guys so much, and, I will see you soon, and for those in the stream, I will be back in just a minute.